Okay, we are live. You can go.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Doug Farnsley. I'm the mayor of Prospect. Welcome to Prospect City Hall and to the Monday, September 15, 2025 regular meeting of the City Council. It's 7 o'clock and time to call the meeting to order. First item on the agenda is the approval of the minutes of the August 13, 2025 special council meeting. Those minutes have been distributed to the council. Are there any additions or corrections? If not, is there a motion to approve the minutes? Okay, Mayor Evans made the motion. Dr. Furman seconded. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, those minutes are approved. Next are the minutes of the regular council meeting of August 18, 2025. Those have also been distributed to the council. Are there any additions or corrections? If not, is there a motion to approve? Okay, Dr. Furman moved and Mr. Gibson seconded. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Okay, those minutes stand approved. The next item on the agenda is comments from citizens, but I understand there are no citizens signed up to speak. We do have a guest, however, and we're pleased to welcome our Metro Council representative, Scott Reed. Scott, if you want to take a few minutes and address the council and
love to. Thank you.
and those present.
It's been a while.
We need to get you a microphone over there. You can pick it up.
How's everybody? Thanks for having me. It's been a while. Hello. 1, 2. Can you hear me?
Can you hear?
Hey, John. You can hear me now. Cool. Thank you very much. I appreciate the opportunity to come here and speak. Prospect is important to the district. It's important to me. I wanted to introduce Jared Towns, legislative assistant, District 16. I have been very blessed to have two fantastic LAs, and Jared succeeded Debbie Carroll a couple of years ago, and I think he does a wonderful job. So, number one, I just wanted to, again, thank you for the opportunity and tell you that I've been on council now. This is my 9th year, right? And it's been an honor. I love doing it. It has some challenges, like occasionally, but like you guys know, I mean, it's an honor to serve. So I wanted to tell you that. The theme of what I wanted to talk about tonight basically is public safety, and it's on everybody's, I guess, purview. Everyone knows that the city is going through a lot of issues with regard to thefts, break-ins, and a lot of it has to do with the fact that the city has been down with regard to LMPD officers. But I have some good news. We have had a good recruit class the last 2 recruiting cycles. The last recruit class was about half full. The one that we just brought on is completely full. So that's good. And the reason for that is that the city is now paying commensurate with what you guys are paying, and St. Matthews is paying, and Cincinnati is paying. So that's helped. And I will tell you also that this mayor, even though we don't agree on everything, this mayor is far more amenable to public safety and working with both caucuses to achieve a common goal. The prior mayor was not interested in any of that. So this mayor has reached out to our caucus, and we've agreed on some things, more things than not, actually. So I just want to let you know that I think from a public safety standpoint, things are looking up. In the last election cycle, we were able to, this isn't a partisan thing to me, but I will tell you that there is now more of a balance on the Metro Council than ever. There are 13 Democrats, 12 Republicans, and 1 independent. And I think that's very important to the city, because It gives for equal representation on the committees, right? So we have now committee representatives that are on top of some of the biggest committees like budget and planning and zoning and some of these other ones. So I think that's very important because before that, you had 7, 9, at one time there were 7 Republicans and 19 Democrats. So I think the city needs balance, and I think we have balance now. So I want to let you know that. Last week, our caucus, the Republican caucus, unveiled a Safer Louisville program. And of that, I want to give you some highlights. Number one, there's going to be a judicial scorecard. We have a situation in the city where we feel as though judges are not prosecuting and holding as they should. So we've worked with our 5th and 8th Division LMPD, who do a fantastic job, but they need more support from judges. So this is not, we're not trying to critique that much, but what we're trying to do is we're trying to set up a situation by which the public knows who they're voting for and what the voting record is. So that's one thing. The biggest thing that I think that the city really needs is we must get our youth detention center reopened. Okay. So you may recall in 2019, when Mayor Fisher was pushing for the insurance tax increase, the city cut back. The youth detention center is state funded. It's state funded all over the city, all over the state. It's a state function. For whatever reason, Louisville Metro was funding this to the point of like $6-7 million a year. Okay. And we put that back to the state with the understanding that it would be funded and reopened in a couple of years, right? It has been funded. It was funded 3 budgets ago. It is still not open. And for a lot of reasons, according to the state, they're saying it's city red tape. I happen to believe that the Brashear administration, for whatever reason, has been slow walking it. So our caucus is really pushing for this because what's happening is that when kids are arrested, they are not driven to LaGrange because that facility was closed, right? They're driven to Adair County, which is like a 2-hour drive. And police officers don't have time for that. So they're releasing these kids. And one of the byproducts of that, I believe, is that you have these kids that are back out on the streets committing the same crimes, and the thefts and the burglaries, these are all being done by gangs. So we must get this youth detention center reopened. It is vital. It's been funded, and we are pushing very, very hard to for the Bashir administration to take action. And we all know about red tape and that, but we also feel as though the state could have been working on this facility. It has to be rebuilt, okay? But we also think that the state could be up in their game here. So this is a big priority for us as a Republican caucus. There is some ordinances with regard to street solicitation that we want to revisit, okay? To prohibit people from passing money and food. The way that the current ordinance reads is that if a person is on city property, they can solicit. But what they can't do is they cannot go to people and people cannot go to them. So we want enforcement of that ordinance because it's not being enforced now, right? So, and you might ask, and there are lawyers here, and you guys all know, why does somebody have the right to solicit on public? Well, it's a First Amendment thing, right? So our lawyers have said that, and actually the Kentucky State, the Supreme Court actually ruled that they had the right to do that. So we're trying to get some, to figure out the best ways to encourage people not to give them money through signage, through public service, public statements, various other ways, so that people understand that we have myriad opportunities and myriad ways of supporting our homeless in the city rather than just giving them money. Okay, lots of different services. So, and here's something that I'm very passionate about, and I believe as a city, I talked to Chief Humphrey about this. We must have automated traffic surveillance, traffic control. Other states do it successfully. I will tell you that there's some people in my own party that are opposed to this. I'm not opposed to it. I think that it can be done successfully. I think it can be done and protect the rights of the people that are driving, right? Chief Humphrey said that the future of law enforcement is technology, it's automation. I don't know that we will ever get back to 1,600 LMPD officers. I just don't know that. But I do know that people drive like maniacs on 42. You know that. And we have to have a way to control that. As it is now, the state has not allowed any hearings to be done on this. It won't even come to committee. We need to allow it at least to come to committee so we can bring people in from out of state to see how they're doing it. I will tell you that it's successful in Maryland because I got a ticket in the mail and didn't even know it was speeding. So anyway, so I think that we must have a varied way to approach law enforcement when it comes to traffic control. As it is, I will tell you, I just ran into a couple of LMPD officers. We have, this is stunning, 9 traffic control officers that patrol the interstates. 9. That's amazing. Only 9. These guys were saying we need help. So we want to give them help. I am very pro public safety. I am pro infrastructure, roads, development. If it makes sense, if it doesn't make sense, I'm pro good development. So that's what I've governed on for the last 8 or 9 years, and I'm here to answer questions. Thank you.
Great, Scott. Thanks so much for being here, and thanks for your work on Metro Council. Are there any questions for Scott?
Which was schools that were reported.
Look, I mean, my heart goes out. I don't know really, other than the fact that we need more LMPD officers to patrol. So I know that this is going to sound like I'm not scapegoating. Other cities are having the same problem. It's the truth. I do think that Chief Humphrey is the right man for the job. He is serious. He's not political. I think the prior 2 or 3 police chiefs have been political, but if you look at the stats, the mayor will tell you that our homicide rate is down year to year, that our violent crime rate is down year to year. Obviously, a lot more needs to be done. I will tell you that it has nothing to do with funding. We have increased LMPD funding for the past several years. I don't think it's overfunded, but I think it's funded in the right way.
Thanks.
I'm sorry? We have a council meeting? Okay, that's right.
Okay.
No. We're trying to get some feedback and some honest, realistic timelines from the state. It's up to them. It's been funded. It was funded 3 years ago. It's absolutely necessary. I think that people really need, I personally, I believe that there's some people in the Beshear administration that are philosophically opposed to detaining use at all. So I think that I'm sorry? You would have to ask them. I mean, programs, release them. I don't know. But to me, it's an abomination that we're 3 years from the time that the state actually funded it and the fact that we don't have it open. It should be open.
Thanks again, Scott. Any other questions? Let's wrap it up, though.
Well, these are all state projects. These are all projects from the Kentucky Department of Transportation. And I had a town hall sort of coffee meeting a couple weeks ago, and Bill Bell, who is our new Department of Secretary of Transportation of the city, we asked, you know, why now on the, you know, the 264, 42 construction? Why now? I mean, at the same time as River Road, right? So it was an abomination in terms of when it happened. And what he explained to me, Chris, was that the federal government basically said, we have the money right now. And if you don't use it right now, you're going to lose it. So I'm not defending KDOT because quite frankly, they gave us 2 days. They gave us some like this. So we didn't know Mayor Fisher, Mayor Greenberg didn't know either. So lack of communication would come from Kentucky Department of Transportation. I'm not passing the buck, but all of these are state projects. We have nothing to do with any of it. It's very frustrating to me. It's frustrating to me that River Road was closed right at the same time. Because people, you know, realistically, they call my office. They say, what's going on? And I understand.
Thanks so much. Appreciate it.
Thanks.
Partnership and up to additional matters. We have set a date for the dedication. We have set a date for the dedication. I'm pleased to report on the thoughtful September 4 email, longtime Prospect resident Wanda Power sent to Chief Dennis. just express an appreciation for our police. We are indeed fortunate to live in a safe community and to have excellent police officers.
Mayor, I'm not getting any audio at all. Okay.
Okay. Can you hear me on my?
Yes. I'll mute here.
We'll get that.
Yeah.
You'll just hand this to Carolyn, that would be great.
Okay, the parks. Please, there's a lot of feedback. Wait.
I don't know.
Turn it down. Turn it down, like right here. Okay. All right, can you hear me, John?
Yes.
The Prospect Parks and Recreation Advisory Committee met on September 8th at 5 p.m. We had a number of items on our agenda. So first, under Parks updates, Tina Bevan introduced and welcomed the Parks Committee's new student representatives, Sophia Campo. Sophia is a sophomore at Sacred Heart Academy and is active in an environmental club. So we're looking forward to having her and think that she'll be a valuable asset to our Parks Committee. Damage to Freedom Bridge and the boardwalk are scheduled for repair. Additional repairs are needed on the Putney Pond Eagle Way Trail. We decided that Boy Scouts and other volunteers may be able to make repairs in some areas, while other sections may require a professional contractor. Sally Snyder is pursuing opportunities to forge a relationship between the Parks Committee and the Prospect Rotary Club on projects utilizing Rotary Club student volunteers. So we're hoping that this will be a good working relationship that will give us a new source of volunteers for our parks projects. And speaking of that, under parks programs, the mayor's already announced the new date for Kids Fest, which would be Sunday, October 19th at 12:30. And Sally is hoping to get some additional volunteers for that event as well. We always have a great turnout of kids, and it is a struggle to get enough volunteers to manage the different events going on at that time. And then, of course, the final concert of the season that the mayor's already announced is this Sunday, the fabulous Cheryl Raspy. Under Scout report, Sally reported for Lynn Granger that a Troop 30 Life Scout has submitted a proposal for an Eagle Scout project to be completed in 2026. However, that project that she had proposed has already been addressed by Ron and his crew. So the Parks Committee will work to identify another project that might be of interest to that scout. In other business, Ron reported that the backside of the hill on the Orange Trail will be regraded and gravelled. Sally is trying to reschedule the Owl Prowl Walk with Lee Payne. And then finally, the next meeting date for the Parks Committee is Monday, October 13th at 5 p.m. in City Hall.
Thank you, Carolyn.
Who's next?
I think it's probably going to be. Sure, absolutely.
Probably that Sunday, October 19th, the day that Kids Fest was off the Louisville Leopards was here.
The Louisville Leopards had to cancel that event, and it was primarily a parking constraint. We don't have enough parking to accommodate 70 musicians. And I don't know, they couldn't arrange carpooling or, the specifics were, but that was the reason that they backed out. Unfortunately, Sally is trying to work with them to perhaps have a smaller group of the Leopards come, which we had once before. So it's a little different kind of concert, but that's in negotiation. And if she isn't able to get them booked for the event, she'll be going with the DJ for that. Sorry, any other questions?
Thank you, Carolyn. If you'll pass the phone to Sandra, I think she's going to be up next. Sandra, League of Cities report, please.
We had a board meeting, as you know, we were blanked I think time before. And basically, the league is actually involved in a number of things right now. One is that Metro has formed a security safety committee, community safety commission. And Jack Will has actually been asked to be on there, which is helpful because if you look at the group of people, and I've never counted them, but these are all the pictures, there's a wide representation. Now, the bad thing is, this has been out a good month, they haven't had their first meeting. But when they do, there's a lot with the committee. Safety is something they're talking about, a great part too, and that's why Chief Humphrey will be the speaker this Thursday. And just the same, and also the Democrats, there's a lot of positive feeling about Chief Humphrey from a lot of sources. And possibly some of it is because we've had some people that possibly not been as effective as they could have been. But we're hearing good things about Humphrey and that there's not a lot of wrong talks. He just answers the questions that are there. In addition to the concerns about safety, We also, we have been talking about the report that's coming out of that 109 solid waste consultants. The reveal meeting is the end of this week. And that is when the final report will be shown. Right now, as I told you before, home rule cities are not a component for a recommendation out of that report. But that does not mean that the draft report, I don't see the draft report does show that they have been working on data in regard to home rule cities. As I told you, they were threatened with lawsuit, full home rule cities from their recommendation. But up till that point in time, which is roughly 2 months ago, home rule cities and recommendation of their cities was going to be part of this report. All of that says that they are still very concerned about Metro's desire to take over every bit of waste in Jefferson County. And as we all know, we just did that in Oldham County. And what we're finding, and some of the reports were pretty interesting. I think the people who did it did a good job. And one of the things we find is that when there is a takeover by a county for the waste hauling, they, in very many different ways, most of which you will never see, they end up charging for their administrative activity. They have it. And we're finding 25 to 31% is their bottom line. Okay, but if you put that on the data in the report, then all of a sudden this low figure is much higher. And so it'll be interesting to see how they find. Another thing is that Mr. Gibson and I has formed a committee, and we are taking a look at what regional cities are like, what they do, because nobody's done this before. I asked a question a while back. I said, could you give me a list of the metro districts and what regional cities are in? Doesn't exist. Now, Scott Reed for his, he's got 14. McCrane's got, well, she's got 16. I've got both of those, but there's 80 home rule cities, and that's only roughly 30. So Mr. Gibson and I are working on profiling home rule cities, and we've got 6 mayors that are helping us do that. The first one we're looking at is security. Who's got a police force in Kentucky? They don't think of that. And so we'll be talking to you because we'll have to pick up prospects information. But in addition, if you come up with other things that you would like us to look into, we're certainly open. And we've got a lot of support. Starting when he was on there.
That's great. Thank you, Sandra, for your work on the board and for the report and all your efforts and Don's efforts. Very much appreciated. So that brings us to the police report. And Tony, you've got the cell phone, so you're up.
Ready to roll.
It's got electronic.
There we go. Going through our report real quick. Citations. The guys have done a very good job on traffic enforcement. Really good market increase to the point where I was at a business in Middletown last week, and guy flagged me down and said, "Man, you guys got me." So he was coming back through 42, got stopped, but it was actually a good interaction. He was talking about how professional our guys was. So not only was it a good, and he got a warning, so he was much happier. But it says a lot. Our guys are out here stopping a lot of people, which leads to a couple of things. A couple of our traffic stops have led to some pretty good arrests, warrants, and different things, mainly in the evening. And that's when traffic lets up a lot. And Scott was right, and you were right when you were talking about that. Although all these things that have gone on around here have really led to an increase of traffic for us. And I think Michael talked a little bit last meeting how accidents were up a little bit. They're pretty steady about the same time last year. That's kind of what they are. But that has led to a lot of frustration for residents, different things. If you go outside of here, if you go anywhere near 264 up there, anytime during the day, your blood pressure is going to go through the roof. It does, but it really does. And you had a good question, but We've inquired about it as well, because I've gotten a lot of inquiries about it. It's a state issue and they got almost no notice with it. And we didn't really either at all. We had a DUI arrest that started over at Hayes Kennedy Park. The guy struck a couple vehicles, multiple other things on the way back over to here. He was caught over at the Circle K by the late shift guys, had a flat tire. So he was taken to jail as well. The only two other things we've kind of seen a little bit of increase in here lately is mental health runners. We've probably got 5 in the last, I guess it's been about 2 weeks. 4 of those younger folks, one of them was an elderly person. Multiple of those we ended up having hospitalized. Probably not got a run within the last 4 or 5 days, but we have had an uptick of that. Domestic violence, a little bit of an uptick of that as well. I think some of that's going to get solved by somebody moving out from the residence. That helps us out quite a bit. Talk about the shoplifters, mainly over at Kroger. And as I told you before, we're not seeing an uptick in the shoplifting. They're emphasizing having loss prevention over there, which is really kind of upticking it a little bit. But we've had 8 warrants taken out, 6 people arrested. We have 1 up in grand jury now. And Scott's right there's a ton of theft that goes on within the community. In, out, they hit all the different Krogers. They hit up here by the expressway as well. So that's kind of where we're at with that. And the car hoppers are still alive and they're hitting everywhere, but they're not hitting here right now. So we're in the clear for a bit. One of the groups was caught working, and Michael has a great relationship with other departments, Metro, Indian Hills, and some other folks. Linden and Norton Commons are getting hit pretty hard right now, but we're not. So, and it does go in phases. So it's inevitable. It's going to pop back out here at times. But I think our guys do a tremendous job of being in the neighborhoods, and that helps. One thing I know you, Don, you talk about the trees. I know we have seen there's been a lot more damage coming out, and we make the initial runs. So we always try to help out, especially for Ron and his crew. It's just hit, I think, a lot of them lately. They've been extraordinarily large trees. They've been, and our process is we get that run. We always try to call the fire department, see if they can come out and do it. They haven't been able to cut. There's been 4 or 5 that have literally been blocking major roadways, 42 back in the neighborhoods. We had one, I think, over on Covered Bridge. But there's kind of a certain point where we have to call somebody to kind of come get those at times. And it's just hit where they've been in major arteries. They've been places where we try to get Metro works out here. And the problem is if it's a storm event, they're not able to get out here. And the fire department as well. We've probably had 3 or 4 different times lately where the fire department has one either come out and said, hey, we just don't have the equipment to get that tree. And that's probably where I think that cost is coming from.
Check.
Right. Oh, sure.
$20,000 budget for the year.
Yeah.
$20,000 we spent in August and out with all these storms.
Right. What, you know what? That's the same thing we've had. We say it all the time. It's like we get a run, it's the middle of a sunny day and there's a massive tree that goes down. It's just crazy. But although we don't control that part of the budget, we do definitely try to help out. It's just, sometimes you just can't. And if it's in a major artery, we have to get a closure. We usually do.
Any questions?
It's free.
Yeah. Any questions for Tony? Thank you so
Yes,
much
sir.
for the report and for all your good work.
You got it. Thank you.
Okay, we're moving to no items of unfinished business. We're moving to new business. The first item on the agenda under new business is Resolution 7, a resolution authorizing the completion and filing of government resources accelerating needed transformation grant program project application. John, can you tell us what is this the grant for the
This is part of the Putney Pond.
but this is the recreational trails grant for the boardwalk grant. So this is authorizing us to move forward in seeking the grant from the recreational trails program for the boardwalk from the back of City Hall to Putney Pond. Is there a motion to approve this resolution? Mr. Gibson made the motion. Is there a second? Second by Dr. Furman. Is there discussion?
Just a question, is this an 80/20? If we get it, are we then obligated for some amount of money?
$237,000. Is the grant, is the grant you're shooting.
And then if we get it, do we have to contribute something to whatever the end product is?
Yeah, the balance of the cost and we got a heater about October, November, if we're going to again shoot the funds. I think we're going to get it. Once we get cleared for the funds, then we will go out and get a set of drawings that will be for the builder, and then we'll go out and be contract. So we start next spring. Depending upon the timing, we may go after another grant next year. So probably the total cost of the boardwalk would be about $700,000. So if we could get $237,000 grants and that cost instead of what we'd like to get to.
So ultimately, we're gonna owe that $200,000.
Yeah. This is, I think this is just a step in the process.
And Metro committed verbally 40,000, but we ran into a lot of red tape and paperwork. But I think there's still a good chance of getting those funds. Scott's certainly supportive of it.
Who would we get from what the Metro?
Metro.
It's his.
It's
Oh,
his-
His money.
He's been very straightforward with that.
Yeah.
A lot of paying to a place like River Road. Yeah.
Okay, very good.
Sister Mary Nicole George said she would know this business, but on tour. People here. So she was impressed with the boardwalk as well as our roundabout on this one.
Yeah, she's very supportive. I think she helped motivate Scott to find some
She
money.
said, we need a letter.
Fantastic.
Okay, so we've got a motion, we've got a second. Is there further discussion? If not, I'll ask for the yeas and nays. Dr. Furman,
Yes.
Mr. Gibson,
Yes.
John Evans,
Yes.
and Sandra,
Yes.
and John Clark.
Yes.
Okay, so that passes 5-0. We have one absent. But that's passed. Yeah, could you mute again, John?
Yes.
Thank you.
I'm getting a lot of feedback here.
Yeah, if you could.
Yeah, I'm going to.
Thank you. All right, next item on the agenda is Municipal Order 3, an order consenting to the nominations by the mayor of citizens of the city to serve on the City of Prospect Forestation Board and affixing term of office there too. So there are actually, the first is Municipal Order 3. And this would reappoint Connie Kuhn to a additional term of 3 years ending September 15, 2028. Is there a motion to approve this municipal order? And Mr. Gibson moved and Ms. Leonard seconded. Is there discussion? If not, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, Municipal Order 3 is approved unanimously. Next item on the agenda is the same sort of order, and that's an order appointing Sylvia Quay to a further 3-year term on the Forestation Board. Is there a motion to approve this municipal order? Mayor Evans made that motion. Is there a second? Mr. Gibson seconded. Is there any discussion? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That order is also approved. And I think that concludes the agenda. If there's no further business, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor, please say aye. We are adjourned. Thanks, everyone. Thanks, John. Good to see you.
It's challenging.
We appreciate it.
Next meeting. It'd been nice to have it the last 6 months, actually.
Well, they originally were telling us we signed it.
They told us to.
Yeah,
We paid them that late February.
yeah, we approved it February.
Paid half.
And